Good midday, good wonderful day. It is a fabulous day. Um, it drizzled a little bit, rained a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be some humidity. It's going to be all whatever it's going to be because guess what? It's going to be whether you like it or not. So, best learn how to handle it and deal with it and tell God thank you that it is as good or as well as it is. We want to welcome each and every one of you to our Friday snapshot. Yes, yes, Kathy. Yes, yes, yes. Gatorade. Until I figure out what's going on with Fiji, we gonna gator the aid. It's water. And do what we need to do. So I'm grateful for those of you who are coming on board and will be sharing with us on today during this snapshot moment. Let me put this out here in the beginning. Hopefully, I'll remember at the end that we will be out in the parking lots on Sunday morning. And I'm telling you right now, I'm looking so forward to it. I'm making sure the equipment is ready to roll. Did what I needed to do with the PA system. All of that set and ready, and now working on the video equipment. Just making some updates and some changes that must be made. And so we're doing what we need to do to make it even that much more easier for our media ministry to do what they need to do, seeing that it's going to be a little warm, but not going to be as warm as it's going to be later next week. Is going to be show enough hot. Okay, Minister Sarah, bless you, Jemison. So glad that you are here with us on today. Ready for the sound? You remember, didn't you? Bless the Lord. It is. We need that sound. We need that sound to permeate itself, not just through the north side, but downtown, as I had shared. I don't know if I shared it on the snapshot or what I had did, but there are people everywhere I go. Even when they had that one event at the Cavelli Center, people wanted to know when are you guys going back to the parking lot? And so we're there. We're going to do what we need to do. Good midday to you, Minister Faye, and just doing what we need to do. So, brethren that are here, we want you to get here around about 8:30 or so we can begin the setup process. I'm getting everything in line. I'm putting everything to where it need to be, and I'm making sure so that the gentlemen, when they come, they will be able to put everything together with simplicity. Rhonda Fletcher, how are you doing? We pray that you are doing fantastically well. And Sharon, how are you? Okay. Praying that your health is doing well. And if it's not, it will in the name of Jesus, who is the Christ. I want you to hear what I said. I want you to hear it, Sharon. I want you to hear it. I want you to hear it. And you got to thank God that you're coming through it. And so we bless the Lord. So, again, for each and every one of you, hit that wonderful button, that share button. Hit that share button. Okay. And so we are just grateful to God. And we're anticipating that God is going to do above and beyond all we could ever ask or think. And so for that, we bless his holy name. Chaplain Hearns, bless you. Good to have you here with us. Okay. And to God be the glory and praise for the great things that he is doing. Tamika, good to have you here with us on today. And so I actually need everyone to take just a little bit of time out and to during your day or whatever you're doing. Cecile, how are you? Denise, Ethel, um, just begin to pray for the worship service Sunday. And the reason I want you to pray for the worship service Sunday is because we are just going to believe God for miracles and great things to take place as we are privileged to be able to fill the atmosphere with his praise and with his word. And he says clearly that it can't return void. So we anticipate that God will do exactly what he says he will do. Thank you so much, um, Janice, for letting us know that we are looking and sounding the way we should. Nancy, Bless your heart. So we're glad for each and every one. Denise, I just saw this your birthday. Girl, get out of here. You ain't no 66. Get off my page. Okay. Elder James, bless your heart. Good to have you here with us. And so again, we are anticipating God to do great. I need to ask a question, Deborah and Lavonda. I need to ask a question because I think it's relevant, especially for those of you who may be going through something or may have some level of discomfort. That's what doctors call it, discomfort. Okay, or you're having some level of disappointment. You may have some level of okay. Why is this happening to me? Or how long will it happen? And so I hope I get through this because I think I just kind of need to take my time, and then maybe I might have to pick this back up again on Monday. But God has a way of using pain and disappointment to perfect his plan in your life. Now I need to put a pin in that for just a second. Wendy, bless you for being here. Some things will not materialize themselves until you have gone through something. Linda Brown, bless you. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that so much for y'all sharing today's lesson because I think sometimes we become bitter, we become angry, we become um, hostile because of the series of events that we honestly did not ask for, Linda Arrington. Um, but God has a way of using your pain for his plan, and his plan has an impact on more than just you. That's one thing that I've learned about God because sometimes we act like God is personally attacking us and God is personally, he ain't doing none of this in nobody else's life but ours and all of this other kind of stuff. But God uses pain and disappointment. He uses every one of these issues to bring to fruition his perfect plan for your life. And the thing about it is he doesn't give us any previews. He doesn't sit us down and allows us to look at what's going to take place before it happens. It just manifests itself. It comes to pass. It shows up. It materializes. It does all of these things. But here's something more above and beyond. Hey, Goldie, how are you? That all of us have to learn in the midst of that growth process is how to let some stuff go. Now, hey, Jaleesa, how are you? Now, listen to me. Listen to me. LMA, dear, when you've been wounded, when you've been hurt, you can become the worst thing in the world. You can become just as evil and hateful. And what you've got to come to terms with is that while the process is going on and the end result of the process has manifested itself, there are some things you got to let go of. Y'all don't believe me? Well, in Genesis chapter 30, there is a miraculous situation that's going on. And verse 20 encapsulizes what Joseph has dealt with. Now you got to remember, don't none of us want to be Joseph. Don't not, just like people don't want to be Job, we don't want to be Joseph. Why? Joseph went through a myriad of things. Hey, Gwenny, how are you, sweetheart? But what we failed to understand in the process of developing Joseph, Joseph put himself in that situation because he bragged about something that his father gave him that was not received by any of his other sons. And you got to remember something. When God blesses you or favors you or places you in a different position, you have to remember that there's some stuff you just need to learn how to keep to yourself. And Joseph was out of control. He was cocky, he was arrogant, he was full of himself. And God has a way of erasing and shaving off you so that you'll understand that it ain't never been about you anyway. It's always been about him. Gaither, bless your heart. Thank you so much for being. Listen to what I'm saying. All of us are going to go through that. Even Paul, when he was ascended into the third heaven, God gave him a thorn in the flesh. He said, and the reason he did it is so that I wouldn't exalt myself above measure because of the abundance of the revelation. He puts this thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to buffet me. Woo, Lord, have mercy. So that I don't forget, and I need us to get this, I don't forget who permitted the revelation. And so in the midst of all of this, Joseph has gone through some stuff. He was basically, hey, Mary Moss, dear, how are you? He basically, his brothers wanted to kill him. Thank God for Reuben. They sold him into slavery. Thank God for favor. Oh, I wish I had somebody that's catching this. You got to remember, how many people do you know who are put into prison, but because of their integrity and because of the God that they serve, they are put in charge of a prison that they can't get out of themselves. Potiphar's wife tried to set him up. Potiphar knew what kind of wife he had. And all of these things took place, and all of this stuff happened. And then the next thing you know, the king starts having dreams, and all of this, and the baker and the cupbearer were a part of the process. They were in prison while he was there. And you got to remember something. Hey, Barbara Foose, in the midst of everything, when you try to maneuver your own escape, you usually set yourself up for failure. And Joseph said, now, when you get restored, because one of them, the baker lost his head, the cupbearer was restored. Remember me. And when the cupbearer got back to the palace, he a bit more remember who Joseph was and the man on the moon. Can you imagine how that feels? That when you think you have an avenue that will get you out of something, that door closes as well. But what you have to understand, everything that God is doing in your life is according to his timetable and according to his purpose. Cynthia, where you been? I'm just messing with you. And so in the midst of all of this, God starts dealing with the king. And as he deals with the king can't figure out all of this stuff, and all of these things are happening. Everything that went crazy because the God, and Joseph is quite clear. He said, I can't take credit for this. God, my God, has revealed to you something. And in the midst of the process of the conversation, the king says, well, who better to be over this than you? And he places Joseph over that, and he puts aside X number amount because he understands that a famine is going to come. And when the famine comes, the very people who tried to assassinate him, the very people who ostracized him, the very people who sold him into slavery had to come to him for their survival. Don't make me leap and shout over this desk. You must understand that it is not your place to pay people back. It is not your place to try to be vindictive. It is not your place to do that, because vengeance belongs to God and it don't belong to us. That's what's going on in our cities. This vindictive spirit is all over the place, and that's why people are killing each other like crazy, and all they are doing is creating even that much more chaos. And when Joseph sees his brothers, because they have not seen him for years, they don't even know who he is. He's not even speaking their language. And in the midst of this, he sees them. And here's where the struggle comes in. When he sees them, that vindictiveness that he probably thought no longer existed rose up. And he did a little thing. He did little tricks to him and did different kind of things. And some away brought him back, some away brought him back. Then began to deal with the brothers and all of the other kind of stuff. And if you don't leave me this one, and they're like, look, if we leave you Benjamin, Daddy gonna die. He already almost died when it came down to Joseph, and now you want to do, and all of these things are going on. Can I read verse 20? I'm gonna finish up the rest of this on Monday. But as for you, you meant it for evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many people alive. I got to go. I will see you Monday. We're going to finish this thing up. We're going to work on this just a tad bit and see if you can't find the shout in the midst of your misery. Ah, love y'all with the love of Jesus, who is the Christ. Spread the word. We're going to be outside. Gentlemen, need you to be here around about 8:30 so we can set stuff up, and we'll be on our way to giving God glory and praise. Listen, love you with the love of Jesus Christ. Have a fantastic weekend. Now, listen to me. Enjoy this weekend, because it's going to get hotter than a box of firecrackers on the 4th of July all week long. Y'all be blessed. May God bless you. May He keep you, is our prayer.